Welcome. How can I safely stop breastfeeding? In episode 10, we examined how long the breastfeeding relationship should last. However long you decide breastfeeding is right for you and your child, at some point this journey will come to an end. If the decision to wean from the breast comes from the mother, it needs to be carefully managed according to the baby's current age and needs. For babies under 6 months of age, these babies are fully milk-fed, so weaning from the breast will need to come with the introduction of an appropriate infant formula. If you've been fully breastfeeding until now, the weaning process should be introduced slowly, both to reduce the chance of you getting mastitis and also for your baby's tummy to have time to adapt to a new food. These are the steps to take for weaning. Number 1. Pick your least favourite daytime feed and replace it with a formula feed. We recommend starting with a daytime feed as you will be giving your baby a new food, and it is important to watch for any adverse reactions. Number 2. You will probably feel pretty full at the time you would normally give this feed. Don't pump, as this will encourage production. Instead, hand express small volumes just to the point of comfort. Number 3. Keep just this feed dropped for a few days until you no longer feel really full at the skipped feed. Number 4. Consider if dropping this feed was enough to make the breastfeeding relationship sustainable. If yes, continue at this balance. If no, then move on to step 5. Number 5. Drop one more feed, not immediately before or after the feed you've previously dropped, and go back to step 2. At the end of this process, you will have either found a combination of feeding that works for you and baby, or you will have fully weaned from the breast. Some women find that the step 3 can last up to a week before they're able to move on, while others find their body adapts in just a couple of days. Go at a pace that's comfortable for you. For babies aged 6 to 12 months, babies of this age are starting to explore solids, and so you may find, depending on how well they're eating, you can replace some feeds with solid meals and others with alternative milk feeds. A baby who is a year old no longer requires formula, so if you're weaning from the breast at the upper range of this age group, then consider biasing the feed replacements more towards solid foods. The practical steps for weaning are exactly the same as those above, with some feeds being replaced by solid food rather than formula. For younger toddlers, although at this point about 70% of your child's calories, their energy requirements, do come from solid foods, there are still significant nutritional needs being met by breastfeeding. In light of this, we need to make sure that we focus on encouraging a varied and healthy diet as we wean from the breast. Your toddler will also find great comfort in the breast, and if you're not needing to wean in a hurry, it is worth taking time to introduce a comfort item while feeding your child to connect with them. This comfort item, and lots of cuddles, can help your child make the emotional transition away from breastfeeding. How frequently they are currently feeding will influence how quickly you can wean from the breast. But in general, the advice of one feed at a time still holds. There's no need to introduce any alternative milk feeds at this age. Just increase the number of meals or healthy snacks in line with their hunger. For older toddlers or children of this age will require some emotional support and preparation for weaning from the breast. It has been a source of love and comfort their whole lives, and while it is absolutely your right to choose to wean, we also must respect their natural feelings of distress at the end of the relationship. Often our instinct is to try and convince the child that they are now a big boy or girl and don't need the breast any longer. In my experience, this is more likely to result in regressive behaviours as they try to convince you and themselves that they are still little and absolutely do need the breast. I prefer to frame it as the milk has all gone, rather than mum has decided to stop providing it. This allows for you both to be sad together that the breastfeeding relationship has ended, while being able to offer comfort in other ways. Every child is different, and some react better to the all-gone method where there is consistency in the weaning process, while others find it easier to slowly transition away from breastfeeding one feed at a time. If you are slowly transitioning, one method is called Don't Offer, Don't Refuse, whereby you no longer suggest feeding, but don't refuse if asked for it. This method tends to work best when the child is close to natural term weaning. Another gentle method is to introduce a breastfeeding chair, where you only feed when sat together in that chair. Then you only sit in that chair at times you're happy to feed. Once that boundary is in place, it becomes easier to reduce the feeds by simply not sitting there outside of times you're happy to feed. If you gradually wean from the breast, you won't need to do any active management of your supply. But if you decide to go with the all gone, then you may need to do some pumping or hand expressing to manage any engorgement. So, to recap, to safely stop breastfeeding, the process needs to be carefully managed according to the baby's age and needs. For babies under 6 months, weaning should be introduced slowly by replacing one feed with a formula feed, expressing to the point of comfort before dropping another feed, and continuing until the desired balance is reached. For babies aged 6 to 12 months, some feeds can be replaced with solid meals and others with alternative milk. For younger toddlers, focus on encouraging a healthy diet and introducing a comfort item. For older toddlers or children, frame the end of the breastfeeding relationship as the milk having all gone, and introduce the don't offer, don't refuse or breastfeeding chair method to reduce feeds. Gradual weaning doesn't require active management of supply, but sudden weaning may require pumping or hand expressing to manage engorgement.